Hello everyone, this is the continuation video for faulty radiographs. In part 1 of the video, we talked about projection errors. Now in this video, I'll be talking about exposure errors and processing errors. Beginning with the exposure errors, the first one is a blank image, then the second one is low density film, low contrast radiograph or faint image, and the third one is the high density image. This is very simple to understand. See, if the film is not exposed, that is the unexposed film, if we develop such a film, it will appear blank. So the first one in the exposure errors is the blank image, and the cause for that is an unexposed film. The second one is low density film. It will appear light, that is, it will be a light radiograph as compared to what is the standard. This low density, low contrast radiograph will appear light. So, what are the causes for it? Too short exposure, that is, the exposure time will be less. Another cause for a low density or low contrast radiograph is high source film distance. See, if this is the film and this is the source, that is the PID, okay? If the distance between the film and the source is high, then the radiograph will be low contrast. So we should use an optimum distance. The source should not be too close to the film and too far away from the film. It should be at an optimum distance. Then another cause will be too low milliampere, too low kVp, or drop in inline voltage. The inline voltage can drop if we use the same circuit for the furnaces autoclaves as that of the X-ray unit. So we should use separate circuits for the autoclaves and the X-ray unit. So if there is a too short exposure, then we have to set the exposure time correctly, that is 2.22 0.8 seconds. Then high source film distance should be corrected. Too low milliampere, we have to increase the milliampere, and for too low kVp, we have to increase the kVp. So this was about the low density or low contrast radiograph. Another cause for a low contrast radiograph is incorrect film screen combination, which is used in extraoral radiography, intensifying screen. If we use incorrect screen and film combination, it can also lead to a low density or low contrast radiographs. Third one is high density image. In low density image, the radiograph was lighter. Now in high density image, the radiograph will be too dark. So what will be the causes for a high density or dark radiograph? Long exposure time, too high kVp, too short source film distance, inaccurate time, too high milliampere, or screen film combination is incorrect. So we have to use a proper screen, intensifying screen with the proper film. Studying about the radiographic faults, we already studied about the projection errors and exposure errors. Now we'll be studying about the processing errors. Beginning with the processing errors, first one is the reticulation or orange peel appearance. Now this is a rare error. Okay, this occurs commonly in areas with extreme climatic conditions. Okay, so in this the film appears cracked because of sudden temperature change during processing. When we expose the film, then we have to process it. We put it in the developer solution, then in the water, then in the fixer. So there can be a sudden temperature change when we put it in the developer. So how do we prevent it? We have to maintain the temperature. For example, in cold climatic conditions, we have to preheat the developer, and then we can put the film inside the developer. Another processing error is black spot or patches found on the film. So what are the causes for it? Hands contaminated with developer, splashing of film with developer before placing it in the developer tank, or black wrapping paper sticking to the hands. So if this is the exposed film, now we have to process it. How do we process it? We first unwrap the film. Okay, when we open the film, we will see the lead foil, then black wrapping paper in which the film is present. We remove the film and then we place it in the developer tank, then in the water, then in the fixer, and then we finally rinse it and place it on the drying racks. So if our hands are contaminated with the developer while we unwrap the film, or if we unwrap the film using wet hands, the black wrapping paper can stick to the hand, therefore causing black spots or patches on the film. Another processing error is a white spot or patch on the film. If our hands are contaminated with the fixer, it will lead to the white spot or patches on the film. Stains on the film. Insufficient rinsing can be the cause. Exhausted developer, oxidized developer, or contaminated solutions. we have to remember, when we process the film, we have to first place the film in the developer tank, then in the water, then in the fixer, and then we have to wash it before drying the film. If we do not wash it, that means in case of insufficient rinsing, the film may stain at the later stage. Another processing error is developer cutoff and fixer cutoff, which occurs because of insufficient dipping of the film in the developer solution. See, the level of the solution is up to this level only, and when we dip the film, it is not fully immersed in the developer solution, and that will result in the developer cutoff. So, we should check the level of the solution in the tanks before processing. Same is the case for fixer cutoff. Next is the emulsion peel. We know dental film is composed of base, subcoat, emulsion, and supercoat. Emulsion has two components, silver halide crystals and the gelatin matrix. If the wet film comes in contact with the fingernails, it leads to emulsion peel, which is manifested as white lines. So, how do we prevent this emulsion peel? We have to wait for the film to get dried after it is fixed. Okay, dry the film as soon as it is fixed, and hold the film using finger holding clip until it is dried. Therefore, until the film is dried, we can hold the film like this in our hands or like this. But we cannot hold it like this if the film is still wet, because it will lead to the emulsion peel. Next processing error is an underdeveloped film which appears as a light radiograph. So, what are the causes for a light radiograph? It can be either underexposed film, that is too low M8 kbp exposure time, increased source film distance, or incorrect film screen combination. Or another cause for light radiograph is an underdeveloped film. So, underdeveloped film is caused because of improper development, because of less time in the developer solution, because of the exhaust developer, because of less temperature of the developing solution. So all these cause a light radiograph or underdeveloped film. Another is overdeveloped film. In this, there is long developing time, or the strength of the developer solution is increased, while as in an underdeveloped film, the developer is diluted. Was all about the types of radiographic faults. I hope you understood the video. If you did, then please do like, comment, share, and subscribe.